What's up, y'all? Wholesome here, bringing you a new deck guide from the Winter War expansion. This is a familiar deck if you're playing last season, YP Aggro, and you've probably seen it on ladder right now. And it is actually a awesome deck that I've been refining and been playing since day one. And I posted on Hub in case you saw it. My initial losses came during my refinement phase, but I'm 15-6 with it, top 10 or so on the ladder, and it is doing great. You might have seen a different type of YP list, but I think this is the better one, and I'll let you know in a bit why. Anyways, these cards are pretty self-explanatory. I will mention that Thunderbird Egg is pretty phenomenal, and it retains the buffs from Juiced, and if you insta-beast it before it hatches, it'll still have the insta-beast buff. Yeah, and obviously Sister Spitfire giving one of our buff dudes agile and using it as a lethal tool is really good. Even forging it and using it as a blocker to get that demise 1 damage across is really good. And then White Metal Ox is such a good insta-beast target as well, with the natural overrun that it comes with. And it also gives us the Jug, which in certain matchups is insane. If you're playing against some type of green control list that wants to bounce whatever you insta-beast, or wants to shuffle it like your Shinobi of Fire back into the deck, or your Yara, it's gonna not let them do that. So that's one of the main reasons it's in here. It's a little anti-synergy with the Alliance Command Center because you're trying to empty your hand, but in those matchups, it's not gonna matter. You're definitely gonna have less cards on them. Shinobi of Fire was in the old list and it got nerfed, but it is definitely a way better card than Cold-Blooded Killer, because it has the native agile and it just has to get through once, and it doesn't, and then you can flame scroll from hand. So I have quite a few games that have just flat out been won by Shinobi of Fire. Not to mention that it's another great insta-beast target. But yeah, the Cold-Blooded Killer is way too situational. You're gonna have to try and kill one of their minions, and sometimes once you don't have a board anymore, it's just not possible really. You're just gonna have to top deck Eraser and hope to win that way, or just keep smiting him. But with Flame Scroll in hand, you can end it right away and don't give him a chance to get back in the game. Alright, let's hop in a couple games. Alright, first match we have here is against YOG tokens list, and I believe, yeah, that's token construct list. So yeah, they kind of play effigy on my side, and I definitely shouldn't have done this. We just doper on one, of course, but I played the mantle on the effigy to start pushing damage, and I don't think that was worth it because I could have just played a third unit and then juiced, right?
What happened to me?
And then I end up using juice here anyways because I need to deal with this and get my doper away from that. I don't want my doper getting blight this early, so I just attack here, get the focus damage in, and then they can mend, but they'll still have to trade into it. They go ahead and play that, so we're going to play our Grid Instructor and another 1-drop. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a way to save this. I'd go ahead and give my Doper +2, and I'm just going to make this trade. Unfortunately, I misplay, and I use Grid Instructor. I don't know why I thought I could save my Doper. It should have been on the Commando right here. Anyways, it looks like we are set to insta-beast on turn 4, which is pretty consistent. And if we're not doing that, we're usually just swarming and playing juiced. But yeah, we're not really pushing
Mission
much damage.
incomplete.
Like, it's turn 4 here, and they're still on 22 life. But we do have the Insta Beast, 1 drop, and we're in a decent spot. So I was worried about the Misanthropia. You always just have to assume they have it, right? If they're holding that many cards. So honestly, I just play Mantle on this minion. I at least can push a couple more damage if they Misanthropia. And maybe I shouldn't have played the Samuzin, but I might as well to kind of empty my hand, right? So, because we're about to get trigger off Command Center. And they play the Misanthropia, and so we're gonna still be able to push a little more damage with the focus. Even though it's 0 attack, it can still push 1 damage, and this is gonna be 4 here. And then we drew the Shinobi of Fire, so we're in a great spot. And also play a Samuzin. We just redevelop our board real quick after that Misanthropia, and I want to empty my hand because I want to start building up more charges. Even though we're probably going to win before we draw another card. Unfortunately, they top deck Sapo here, which was insane, and get rid of that Shinobi of Fire right away. I go ahead and block with the Ink Brawler because I want to push that extra 1 damage, right? And unfortunately, they have the overkill, which was kind of nuts, but it's not really going to matter. They're on 3 and they can't block the center lane, so we just Racer Smite, and that's that. Alright, game 2. We are against Nalka, who is an awesome player. And as you can see, they're on BP Rainbow, which is a pretty strong deck. And we have that turn 1 egg, so we're going to go ahead and develop that. It's definitely better to play it on turn 1 than later on. Fortunately, they have a Sniffer here. So they're going to be like, yeah, if they have Axeman, which they do, they're going to be able to just kill that. It's not going to get any transform off. There wasn't much I could do. I could have juiced, but juicing just an egg is just not worth it. Yeah. Anyways, we might as well. Oh, look, we drew another egg. Sweet. So we go ahead and play that egg and juiced all 3 of those lanes. I honestly misplayed. I wanted to play the Samuzin here and keep the Magpire Commando because it can push more damage with the focused one. I just misplayed that, playing a little too quick. And we have the Insta Beast on 4. Since we drew both Agiles, I decided I wanted to keep Yara here because Yara can help me see what's in their deck and maybe get me. I know they're playing Rainbow, so they're gonna have some enchantments. So if I can get like a Speedway off Yara or something else, that is gonna be insane. It'll definitely just, give me a lot of overrun damage. We get the transform, we make some trades, go ahead and drop Yara, and I'm gonna play Mantle on Yara. I definitely want her to live for at least a turn, right? So I'm not looking to get, Forked Lightning and Axemen, but they go ahead and clear everything. But we top deck another Insta Beast, so we're in a really good spot. My options there were pretty limited. I went ahead and took the Thunderclap because at least that's 2 damage face, which will help us. We're going to be putting them on 7 here, and go ahead and play our Ox, which is also really good in this matchup if they're running Enforcer to bounce. But I realized they're chump blocking with these. It'll 2 for 1. Which is fine by me. But they have the Odin Throne, so we have the Giant Stairway, we have the natural overrun. we are gonna have lethal here.
Fierce, like flame.
Not yet, not yet. A little too soon. But we ended up top decking a Shinobi of Fire, and we're in a really good spot. So either one of these with Giant Stairway, and then having, yeah, so they end up replacing the enchantment so they can get a Reconstruct off. So we have lethal a couple ways here, right? We could smite and cast the Flame Scroll, or we could just, I wanted to play the Giant Stairway with the overrun because, yeah, it's cool. All right, we're gonna be going into a YP mirror here, and this is Garen, and he's on he's on the other YP list, right? Not the one I made. So we're going second here. We kind of we have an advantage because we have Mantle, right? We get an extra body to develop, but they get to go first, which is also really good in card games.
All right.
They go ahead and develop 3 1-drops, so I'm guessing they have juiced. Looking at their hand now, they didn't have it, but we are in a pretty good spot. I can play Commando, set up for my juice, and then just Racer one of theirs, so they'll have to have a 1-drop and a juice. And then we go ahead and push damage. Take out one of the units or the minions with Focus 1. So they go ahead and play Cold-Blooded Killer. I know that they're on that list, and I'm just not going to contest that thing, not give them the death mark. Go ahead and kill another 2-drop. I killed the Samuzin there because I'm going to shift over with Juice and make a favorable trade. I'm just not letting them establish their board. And remember, I went second, so normally you're at a disadvantage when you go second, because you're playing from behind, right? But we're controlling the board really well here. Luckily, we have a Shinobi of Fire and an egg. We go ahead and make the trade here, play our Shinobi of Fire, go 4-face, and play our egg. So we're in a really good position. They go ahead and top deck Instabeast. So they set up a blocker. I'm guessing they thought that I'm playing the same list, but we just have lethal right here. We also had it with Spear Sister, right? But I go ahead and use the Flame Scroll. Alright, so in this game we're actually facing another aggro deck, which is mono red, and this is, I think this was, yeah, this was before I put the grid instructors in, which really would have helped in this matchup. So they go ahead and play double, they play Strigoi Pup and the token. We have a 2/3 blocker this turn. We have to block this. We can't just let them life tap. We can't push enough damage. Unfortunately, they have Ignition and they have the Hysterical Strength, so they get to keep their pup and just take out my Ox. Imagine an Ox, or a pup taking out an Ox. So I'm playing from behind big time here. I go ahead and play, you know, both of these 1-drops. Unfortunately, they're just stacked with Ignitions, and they've kept these alive since turn 1, and I'm already on 17 health. And they get to empty their hand here. I'm in a really bad position, so I just need to play my Samuzin, and I think I just juiced here, right? I juiced and a healing potion, so I can deny them energy. unfortunately, they're going to be able to play both 1-drops here, and it's just looking really bad for me. Luckily, I drew a Sister Spitfire that was forged, so I'm going to be trying to get them to trade here, and I need to empty my hand. I can't smite there because I don't want them to get energy off their path. Unfortunately, they drew Hysterical Strength. Oh, it still kills it. Yeah. But we're still, you know, really far behind. They have us on a clock with Smite. It is not looking good.
Fierce, like flame.
So, unfortunately, the Iron Flesh Performer has Armor 1. So, yeah, that's not going to do anything. But look, they actually play Ichor Feast and draw double trapezes. So, yeah, we're just dead here.
All right.
This other aggro deck is definitely gonna shut us down, especially if they go second and have that extra token. They just have more tools to make favorable trades, and I wasn't playing Grit Instructor at the time, which definitely would have put in work in this matchup. But they get Ignitions, which we have Racers, but yeah, they just, you know, outpaced us there. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I'll be making a video on the top 5 decks like notable decks of the first week. Now that it's the weekend, I will have time to make it, and I'll let you guys know when it's ready. Thanks for watching.